Do you know what annoys me?
What annoys you?
Public transport.
Why?
Well, unfortunately, a few times a week I have to go into the office, which involves me catching a train and the tube.
Going into London.
Right. And today, like many days, it was issues with the train service and the tubes.
Shock.
Yeah. So, getting on the train, it was absolutely rammed. And the amount of people that don't take their backpack off and put it between their legs.
So they take up 2 people's worth of space.
They take up 2 people's worth of space. I've had my backpack because I was bringing my laptop home. So as I got on the train, I took it off, and then in between my legs, I put my backpack down. So it was within my space.
As a courtesy.
To others. But people keep them on. Now, occasionally, yes, when the train's empty, I will keep my backpack on. But as soon as it starts to get busy, I take it off and put it between my legs because I don't want to be ignorant or rude to other people or turn round and end up
bash them with
my bag.
Yeah, I thought they actually ask people not to do that though, right?
They ask them to do a lot of things which they don't do.
Naughty.
They are naughty. But stuff like that just annoys me. And then coming into work this morning, it wasn't so bad. There was the beginning of the issue which seemed to last the entire day. I don't know how they can't fix something in a day. But there was somebody that had their feet up on the seat. Now, it was already busy, and that person was taking up that seat. I forget the fact that it's dirty. We'll come back to that bit. But they're taking up that spot, and it's almost intimidating people. Oh, I won't ask them to move their feet. Yes, ask them to move their feet. They shouldn't have their feet on the seat.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also the same with people that put their bags on the seat next to them, like the bag is a passenger.
Oh yeah.
When everyone else is standing up, and people are too, like you say, intimidated, or that they think it's going to be too rude, but don't want to go up and just be like, "Can you move your bag, mate?" And most of the time, people do.
But they shouldn't have to ask.
They shouldn't have to ask.
I was a little while ago. I was on the train, and a woman was sitting next to the window, and she had a bag on the seat, on the aisle seat, and it was busy. And a woman asked her to move her bag so she could sit down, and the woman pointed at a different seat and said, "Can't you sit there?"
That's outrageous.
I know. It's a seat is a seat. It's not a table. It's not a footrest. It's no. Now I must admit, when I was younger,
oh God, there weren't trains.
It's a new fandangled invention. No, I would occasionally put my feet up. However,
yeah,
I would buy or get one of the newspapers or that had been left behind, and I'd put that on the seat and put my feet up on top of that. Now, I still don't excuse myself for doing that because I shouldn't have put my feet on the seat. However, I was thinking of other people, of protecting the seat from my feet. But yeah, just to put your feet straight onto the seat is
great. But I have to admit, when I've had a few drinks when I was younger, probably when I was like 18, 19, I've been guilty of it.
Again,
isn't excusable.
No, I'm thinking the same. I was doing that when I was sort of 16, 17, 18, before I got my license, and even when I was going out for a drink but we're talking adults that are putting, like, clearly adults, not new adults, or even in their early 20s. We're talking people in like their 40s that are putting their feet up.
Yeah, that is absolutely disgraceful.
And another thing
is, right?
I mean, I don't mind having a can of drink while I'm on the train, but people who eat massive amounts of food, particularly hot, smelly food, on a train, that really annoys me because I don't want to have to sit and smell your food.
There's always someone that has McDonald's. I don't know if that's acceptable, but at the end of the night, last train, there's always that air of McDonald's.
What was it the person did on your tray? Was it yogurt or mayonnaise?
Oh, there was a guy, I forgot about that. So there was a guy, and he was sat opposite me, and it was a boiling hot day. It was one of the hottest days I remember for a long time. And there was a guy, and he was looking at me while he did this, by the way. And he had like a big pot of yogurt. So, you know, like those, it's got to be like a family, yeah, family size one. And he was just digging it out with his hand and using his like hand as a little scoop to like kind of shovel it in his mouth as he kind of did that and licked it off his fingers. Now, I was a little bit worried. I didn't want to say anything to the guy. I didn't know, you know, he might have had some kind of problems. I didn't want to be too harsh, but he might have been a murderer, and he might have been waiting for someone to say something. So I was a little bit scared.
What flavour yogurt?
I didn't examine it, but it was like white. So maybe a Greek yogurt.
Just plain Greek. That's even weirder. The fact. I mean, it's weird enough if it was a flavoured yogurt, but a plain Greek yogurt. I mean, that's. I mean, even at home, people had some kind of flavour into a plain Greek yogurt.
Although I will say, if I would have had some like fruit in my bag or something, I definitely would have offered him like a couple of raspberries or something to put in there.
But that could have set him off even more.
It could have done, yeah, maybe.
But so, would you say it's? I mean, during the day when you're going to work or coming home from work, I think that hot, smelly food's not great. But would you say last train home at McDonald's or a Burger King or KFC? I think KFC's pushing it a bit because that's got a very that's got more of a smell to it. Not an unpleasant smell, but more of a smell to it than say a burger and some chips and stuff like that.
I think, well, KFC generally don't get them at near train stations anyway. Generally,
but also with KFC, you're going to be left with the bones, which is going to be an issue of where you're going to dispose of them because not a lot of tubes and trains have bins on them anymore.
Yeah, which annoys me, but I can understand why with that. But with I kind of accept the last train McDonald's. You know, you've had a few too many to drink and you just need something to sober up a bit on the way home. I think we've all been there at some point.
At middle of the day eating.
If it's like really smelly food, then I'm kind of against it. I'm kind of, well, can't you wait, sort of thing. Or
going back to one of our previous episodes, what about if they was eating boiled eggs on a train?
Oh, that would upset me. Boiled eggs, or yeah. Obviously, they can't have cooked fish. We spoke about that as well, so that wouldn't be too bad. If it was like a bit of sushi or something, I could handle that.
I could handle it. I mean, so long. I think it's more the smell of other people's food. I mean, in a restaurant and things like that, you get it, but on a hot packed train, it's not pleasant. Now that's food. What about drinks? Because I know on the London Underground and TfL, you're not allowed alcohol. But what do you think of soft drinks and coffee and tea and things like that?
I don't really care, but I'm like anyone, like whatever you want to drink. There's no real stinky drink that I can think of, but yeah, unless it's like a soup. But then even a soup, that's quite mild. If it's like a tomato soup, I'd go for a bit of that.
I think I'm the same. I think even for me, I think even if somebody wants to have a beer, so long as they're not, because you're allowed it on other forms of rail travel.
You're allowed it on overground, aren't you?
Oh, you allowed it on the overground. You can do it on the C2C, on like the national rail and things like that. You're allowed alcohol. Now I think so long as you're not causing a disturbance, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, that was great when you used to be able to drink on trains. I remember the last day there was the Circle Line
party
where they had a party, and that was absolutely mad.
That used to be a regular thing.
Oh, was it?
It was a regular thing where I never went on it, but apparently they'd get on and then the train would pull up on the Circle Line, the doors would open, and then everything was all quiet, and then the doors would shut, and as it went into the tunnel, they'd start playing music, and everyone would dance and have a drink, and as it came into the next station, music would go off, quiet, and they just do it. Whether this is true, I've heard this. It could be a fallacy.
Could be an urban
myth. But I know they did do it on the last night where you could drink. But yeah, I think drinks on trains are fine so long as and alcohol on trains and TfL is fine so long as you're not causing a ruckus.
I feel like you really just don't like being on trains. I think you mentioned this before.
I truly loathe being on trains and public transport. It's just not nice. I mean, it's hot. I mean, I know the Elizabeth line's got aircon when they put it on, and if they don't accidentally put the heating on, like they did a little while ago. This is not in the winter. This is in the summer.
Sure.
And it's just you're travelling with other people now, particularly at the end of a long day. you're travelling with people that are got a bit sweaty and maybe a bit smelly.
Yeah.
It's just everything about it is unpleasant.
Well, I think I've probably got it slightly worse than you, though, because I'm quite short. I'm 5'6" and a bit. As like a child, I'm 7.5. I'm about 5'6", and I'm armpit height. So when everyone is ponging and stuff, I'm just at that height. And when you're on a packed train, it's awful. It's absolutely dreadful. I mean, obviously, if I was taller, maybe it would be hotter. I don't know. Heat rises. Yes. But there's every cloud has a silver lining. But
smells rise, or do they sink?
I think they sink because it absolutely stinks down there. That sounded wrong. That's talking about on the train, nothing to do with me. On the train. But would you rather go, if you could, and you could park in London at work, would you rather drive through the middle of London, rush hour, or would you rather get a train? It's got to be the train, surely.
See, now, the thing which I don't mind about public transport is that it's generally, it can be, if everything's working fine, it can be quicker. However,
yeah,
all of those things combined, I don't think outweigh the horribleness of the packedness, the smelliness, and everything like that. I think that I would much rather sit in traffic and be in my
the aircon on,
with the aircon on, in my own space, with my own music, with either by myself, with my missus, or with my mates, or with both of them, or both of them. I have more than one friend. Your mate. I have more than one friend, but with a combination of my wife and my friends, I'd much rather that than anything else. It's a much more pleasant experience. And yeah, I think I would pick the train. I've driven in central London numerous times. I've driven in the centre of Paris. I've driven in the centre of Rome. Heavy traffic and congestion and chaos doesn't really faze me, so I don't get stressed out by it. So I know you're not a fan of driving.
I hate driving. I would do anything to avoid driving in the middle of London. I would rather walk to the middle of London than drive in the middle of London.
That's saying something.
And I hate walking and exercise. So, yeah, no, I can't stand it. I think people are really, really inconsiderate. Maybe this is for another time, but drivers in London are absolutely crazy. Everyone's for themselves.
Oh, no,
they cut
100%.
you up, and it drives me mad.
100%. I completely agree with you. And I think for me, it was worse when I drove, particularly Paris, because I was driving an English car. So I was driving like a right-hand drive car on the other side of the road in the centre of Paris. So that was a bit stressful, but I did it, and it doesn't faze me. And I know people are for themselves. You've got to be a little bit for yourself. And I get that. For me, it's just public transport in general.
I think it's in England, though, because I've been to other countries on their tubes and stuff, and they've been absolutely lovely.
Do you remember when me and the missus and you and your missus went to Luxembourg? How nice the public transport was over there.
It was lovely, and it was free.
It's free, completely free.
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, the cost, that's another thing that annoys me.
Oh, that goes up every year.
Yeah, and I worked out if I worked from home 2 days a week, bearing in mind that I'm in one of the zones, so it's not like I'm coming from outside one of the zones into zones 1 to 6 or 1 to 7, whatever it is. I live inside one of the zones, and if I work from home 2 days a week, I would save myself over £1,200 a year.
That's crazy.
And if I did obviously if I did 3 days at home, it would be near enough 1,900 quid a year. I mean, that's a decent holiday. That's a decent holiday I'd save just by doing 2 or 3 days at home. I mean, and you're paying for the privilege of being uncomfortable, hot, and delays.
Yes, a leaf on the track.
Oh, leaf on the track. We get a dust in the snow. My mate from like my undergrad, he was in Italy, and when we went over there to snowboard, it's like deep snow where you have to climb up to get onto the train, and it still runs on time, and it's cheap. I got a journey when we went over there for his wedding. Got a journey from Rome to where he lives. It's 4.5 hours on the train. Was going for his wedding, so my missus and I, or my missus at the time, thought we'd treat ourselves, and we went first class. Oh, I know. And it was £90 for the two of us to do a 4-hour journey first class.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The guy came through offering us drinks and stuff, and then he was offering papers, and I said, "Oh, sorry, I'm English." And the next station, he got off and bought an English newspaper, or an American newspaper. It was a Herald Tribune or something like that, so I'd have something to read. Oh, wow. And as soon as he found out I was English, from then on, he did the announcements where it is in Italy. They speak German and they speak Italian. They did it in German, Italian, and they did the announcements in English as well, because they knew that we were on there and couldn't speak it.
That's amazing. But I think, yeah, what we said about like the delays and stuff, I feel like there's a delay if it's too hot. There's a delay if it's too cold, if it's too windy, if it's too snowy. No matter what, unless it's perfect conditions in England, there is going to be a delay.
And even then, there's a reason why.
Even then, yeah, there is. But yeah.
So do you like public transport, or do you love it? I'll be surprised if you do. Let us know, and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and follow.